Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a small plane crashed near Victoria East High School and Zach Lentz Parkway. We have the latest. One person was found dead after a house fire in Ganado last night. And how DNA breakthroughs helped a 44-year-old cold case come closer to justice.
Well, it was a cold morning, you know that. It got down to 30 degrees even. We're going to be talking about another cold morning tomorrow, but then as we get to the weekend, things warm up and it gets a little drippy. We'll be talking about that in a moment.
And the Shiner Comanches look to advance to the state championship versus the Bremen Tigers tomorrow night. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. A plane went down just after 3 p.m. at the crossing of Zach Lentz Parkway and Mockingbird. A twin-engine piston Navajo plane took off from Victoria Regional Airport at 9:52 a.m. It made several circles, gaining and losing altitude between 10,000 and 14,000 feet. After 4 hours, the plane lost contact at 2:57 p.m. The flight, part of a survey mission by Mark Incorporated, covers routes across the U.S. The experienced pilot was traveling at speeds of up to 250 miles an hour. The plane was previously in the air on Monday and last Wednesday and Friday. Authorities are urging drivers to avoid the area until further notice. 25 News Now anchor Shauna Curry is on the scene. Shauna, what do you know at this point?
3, 2, 1.
We're live out here at the intersection of Zach Lentz Parkway and Mockingbird. Still very much an active scene. As you can see behind me, debris is scattered throughout the intersection. There were 3 vehicles involved in addition to the airplane. All of those vehicles are still in place so that investigators can work to determine what happened. We're told that there are 3 vehicles involved, 5 people among those 3 vehicles and the airplane. 3 of them were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. 1 person was transferred to an out-of-town hospital for a higher level of trauma care. So we have multiple local, state, and federal agencies that are out here. They'll be out here throughout the night trying to piece together exactly what happened with this airplane and how it came to land here at the intersection. But it is a Piper PA-31 Chieftain airplane. It's a twin-engine plane. Information shows that it took off from the Victoria Regional Airport just before 10 o'clock this morning. And then right before 3 o'clock when it crashed, records show that it lost altitude suddenly and then it crashed. The airplane belongs to Mark Flight Services, which does utility survey work, oil and gas, and surveillance projects throughout the area. They do say that the patterns that the plane was flying show that it was an experienced pilot who knew what they were doing. So we're going to be continuing to get updates from officials throughout the night as they know more about what happened out here. And of course, we'll continue to provide those updates on our website, our newscasts, and online as well. Don, back to you.
Thank you so much. Now, another video sent in by a viewer named Tiffany shows the moment in which her son Eli captured the plane going down as he walked home from school. We've shown you this video before. We're going to show it to you again. He was walking along there. That's the feeder road alongside Zach Lentz Parkway near Mockingbird Lane, and then he caught that plane crashing. 3 vehicles were involved in the ground. A total of 5 people were involved in the crash. 3 of those people were taken to the hospital. Those 3 people are expected to be okay. Another person was taken out of town for higher level trauma care at that hospital. 25 News Now weekend anchor Amaya Norman is also on the scene. Amaya, what is the latest that you have?
Yes, we are on the intersection of Zach Lentz and Mockingbird, where the intersection will be closed until further notice. If you are a parent planning to drop off your child in the morning for school, the only area that will be, the route that will be open will be the one coming down Mockingbird from John Stack Bauer. They will have signs up for the parents to follow or someone to direct the traffic to make it easier for parents to get their child to school. I would say at least leave an hour, but until then, be prepared for traffic in the morning. 25 News Now, reporting live, Amaya Norman.
Amaya, thank you. And the FAA will have a preliminary report tomorrow as we continue to follow this developing story. And the very latest, you can come to our website, crossroadstoday.com, for the latest. Now more Crossroads news. The state fire marshal is investigating a house fire in Jackson County with one death. The Ganado Volunteer Fire Department and Jackson County first responders were called to the house on FM 1157 around 10:20 last night. The house was fully engulfed in flames. They cleared the scene around 5:20 this morning. One person was found dead inside the house. Refugio County commissioners extended the burn ban in that county this week. They also banned certain fireworks in unincorporated areas. The fireworks banned are aerial skyrockets with sticks and missiles with fins. And this brings us to today's viewer poll. Here's the question. Do you think all fireworks should be prohibited under a burn ban? Yes or no? So far, our voters say 86% yes, that all fireworks should be prohibited under a burn ban. We thank you for voting. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we'll have the latest results at 10. Goliad County Commissioners approved 2 solar farm tax abatements. The solar farms are planned for Keys Hollow and Clip Road. Commissioners removed plans for lithium battery storage facilities. They said there are potential risks with the technology. Now let's take a first look at your forecast. Here's First Warning Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. And Mac, big question as far as weather goes, how cold will it get tonight?
Thank you, Don. We're expecting another freezing night as temperatures will get down to freezing in many areas around the area. We got down to 30 degrees this morning. So one more cold night and then the big warm up. Yep, by the weekend we'll be back into the 70s, but we'll have a lot of cloud cover and light rain around the area. So we'll be talking about it coming up in a few minutes. Right now, let's toss it back to Don.
Mac, thank you. After 44 years, justice is closer for Susan Lee Wolf. A Travis County grand jury indicted 78-year-old Deck Brewer Jr. for her 1980 murder, thanks to a DNA breakthrough. Her family hopes this is a step toward closure as the case moves closer to trial.
There is justice to be served.
After 44 years, the murder of 25-year-old Susan Lee Wolf, nursing student at the University of Texas at Austin, is a step closer to justice.
It brings closure to the families. It brings closure to the case.
A Travis County grand jury has indicted 78-year-old Deck Brewer Jr. for Wolf's kidnapping, sexual assault, and murder back in 1980. In a statement, her brother Charles Wolf says in part, "We realize the road to justice for Susan's murder is a long one. This is a positive step along that path."
And now that they have that DNA evidence, they do have enough evidence to take it to trial.
In 2023, DNA evidence recovered during Wolf's autopsy was submitted to the Texas DPS Crime Laboratory. A year later, a match came back to Brewer, who was serving time in a Massachusetts jail on unrelated crimes. Austin police arrested him in August. That's when CBS Austin spoke to Susan's brother, Charles.
What an accomplishment to have a case solved after 44 years due to science.
Now, if this goes to trial, Austin criminal defense attorney Alan Bennett says the jury will review the DNA evidence and hopefully put aside their sympathy for an elderly man facing a capital murder charge.
He cannot escape the advancements in DNA, and he may be elderly, but he committed this offense.
DPS troopers this week arrested 2 people in the country illegally from Mexico who were trespassing on a private ranch in Kinney County. The 2 tried to evade troopers but were quickly caught. Neri Flores, a confirmed Mexican mafia gang member, was charged with criminal trespass and evading arrest. The DPS reports Flores is a deported felon and wanted on an immigration violation. He was deported to Mexico in 2020. Osvaldo Loma is charged with criminal trespass and evading arrest. Senator Ted Cruz and Congressman Colin Allred were involved in the most expensive Senate race in the country. The Texas Tribune reports the Senate candidates fund raised a combined $193 million. In the end, Cruz defeated Allred by over 8 percentage points. Allred raised almost $8 million more than Cruz, but Senator Cruz ended the race with more cash on hand at $4.1 million. Allred ended with about $850,000. Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. Memorial Medical Center reports positive income for October, and Calhoun County nears completion of a solar light project. You can read these stories and more at portlavacawave.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button, click the notification bell, then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, a Houston judge blocks The Onion from buying Alex Jones's InfoWars platform. Plus, new findings about the suspect in the New York killing of the United Healthcare CEO. A bankruptcy judge in Houston blocked satirical news outlet The Onion from buying Alex Jones's InfoWars conspiracy platform. Last month, a court-appointed trustee said The Onion won the auction to acquire InfoWars. It was sold off as part of a defamation settlement after Jones falsely called the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre a hoax. Alex Jones sued to stop the sale. The bankruptcy judge cited concerns with the auction process, saying money was left on the table. Jones still owes more than $1 billion to Sandy Hook victims' families. The suspect accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is fighting extradition to New York. Court documents show Luigi Mangione is charged with murder in that state. For now, he's in Pennsylvania, where he faces gun charges. While the court battle plays out, more is coming out about his views and background.
I've never seen him upset or angry.
Acquaintances and writings are offering new insight into the suspect charged with murdering the United Healthcare CEO. Multiple people who knew Luigi Mangione say he's bright and a fan of intellectual exchanges. An online blogger who corresponded with him repeatedly says he expressed varied political viewpoints. He says one of them was a belief in universal health care. Mangione's former roommate says they started a book club that, among other things, looked at the Unabomber's manifesto.
But nothing about it, I think, stood out more than other conversations that we had.
Most people who knew Mangione or his family seem surprised he's a murder suspect.
It just does not add up. It just seems a complete aberration.
I was just stunned, shocked, couldn't believe it. Not who you would think of at all.
Police also are reviewing writing they attribute to Mangione. They call a 3-page handwritten manifesto a, quote, claim of responsibility. A law enforcement source says they're also combing through a spiral notebook. In it, Mangione allegedly debates ways to kill someone. He reportedly rules out a bomb for fear of hurting innocent people.
He sort of says, in essence, what could be better than to, quote, kill the CEO at his own bean counting conference.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
A NASA study warns that salt water will threaten freshwater supplies in 3/4 of coastal areas by the year 2100. This saltwater intrusion is driven by climate change and slower groundwater recharge due to reduced rainfall. Researchers say it could damage ecosystems and corrode infrastructure. The findings, based on over 60,000 coastal watersheds, were published in Geophysical Research Letters. HEB is set to host the 24th annual Feast of Sharing holiday dinner in Victoria. On December 18th, a free delicious meal will be served from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Victoria Community Center, located at 2905 North Street. The event will also feature live music, arts and crafts, children's activities, and entertainment for all ages. This holiday season, HEB celebrates by giving thanks to its customers and bringing family, friends, and neighbors together. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. 2 types of fireworks are banned by DeWitt County commissioners. And DeWitt County first responders share the Christmas spirit. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com.
Good evening, everybody. We're looking at 53 degrees right about now, but it's a clear, cold night, and we're looking at temperatures drop down to freezing again tomorrow morning. This morning we look at 30, but I do believe that the actual number is going to be 27. That's what we reported. And but as of now, that's what the Weather Service is saying. 66 was our high. Coming up, we'll be talking about the sunny skies for tomorrow, but then the cloudy, dreary skies, but warmer weather for the weekend. All that coming up in a moment. Well, there's no doubt it was a cold morning. We dropped down to 30 degrees here in the Crossroads, many areas right at 32 as well. Tomorrow morning, we're going to do the same thing. It's going to be very cold when you head out, no wind, which is helpful. And then by afternoon, we see a lot of sunshine and we'll have another very pleasant day. However, things are changing for us. First of all, we've got high clouds coming in from the west. You see this It's kind of strange, but we always have to have a storm in Los Angeles before it crosses over the Rockies into our area. And that one is going to be with us as soon as Monday night or possibly Tuesday. And also we're getting the return of the Gulf air. What does that mean? It's going to be cloudy and dreary, kind of like last weekend, but not quite as cold. In fact, it will be fairly mild. There you see 38, and that's the official thermometer at the airport. But you can imagine in the county areas where there is no freeways and highways and buildings to absorb the heat, it can drop down there. So don't be surprised if we hit 32 again tomorrow morning. And then after the sun comes up, we'll warm up well into the upper 60s, almost 70 degrees. Pretty good looking day for tomorrow being Thursday. But by Friday, all that Gulf air rolls back in. You can see on Future Tracker here, our winds are coming out of the northwest, but then they're turning around. And as we get to Thursday, we'll see a lot of overcast and light rain. I'm going to call it drizzle. I wouldn't think it's more than 1/10 of an inch of rain rolling through our area. And then it's going to stay cloudy and dreary like that right on through the weekend. But the thing is, it's not going to be as cold as last weekend. We'll be up into the 70s. What's happening is the Gulf air with moisture in it is coming over the ground that has been cooled down. And there you go. We condense that out and we get the fog and the low clouds and the drizzle stuff all over the area. That's until about Sunday. Sunday night, we have a cold front that's moving through the area, and that's going to clear everything out. So here you go on Thursday. You can see how the drizzles roll back into the crossroads. That'll be with us for Friday, and then on to Saturday, and then on to Sunday, still with the clouds and the drizzles. And then Sunday night, we start seeing the front roll in. By Monday afternoon, that blows through here and drops the temperature maybe 10 to 15 degrees. So it's not a major cold front by any stretch of the imagination, just, shall we say, a little cooler. And then we'll wait and see when the next big Pacific storm rolls through our area. These are the low temperatures tonight. So you can see, rather tomorrow morning, about 6, 7 a.m., you can see how, we'll be fairly warm, fairly cool rather. And then all of a sudden, we start getting into the well over 60s. But get a load of this, the high temperature in, I guess that would be International Falls, Minnesota, will be -6. That's the high temperature, so think about that. All right, we're looking for down into the 30s, sunny skies getting us up into the upper 60s tomorrow. In Cuero, you'll definitely be down into the near freezing, and then definitely you're going to see sun and getting up to 67. The clouds will then thicken up by the time we get to Friday. We get a little drizzle. Saturday, a little rain, little drizzle on Sunday, and then Monday night we have a better chance of getting some actual rainfall as that frontal system moves through. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Don.
Thank you, Max. Sports Director Max Williams is here. The preview of a huge Thursday night for high school football.
That's right, Don. I mean, like I said, we got multiple games that are be happening here on Thursday night. But with that being said, we're actually going to get a day ahead to highlight our athlete of the week. Who will that be? Find out here in a little bit in sports. All right, Crosswell, so usually we have our athlete of the week, if you know by now, Thursday nights here. But again, we wanted to change it up because we've got all of our area teams playing tomorrow. So we're deciding to move it one day up here. And again, who will this week's athlete we go to? Well, it's going to head to Grenada running back Logan Burrs. And again, we mentioned him yesterday in that stop, but actually that was his brother there yesterday. So pardon me, we said it ahead of time. So that is actually, this will be Logan Burrs. And here's sports reporter Ray Robinson for this week's athlete of the week.
With your athlete of the week, we're going to give you a glimpse into what the future could look like for Grenada football. That's right, just a sophomore, Logan Burrs made his presence felt in the quarterfinals matchup that saw the Grenada Indians take on the Marvin Bulldogs. His performance was one to take note of.
I feel really good. Obviously, we got the win, round 4. I feel like we had a lot of stuff to work on, so that's always good. Okay, man. Yeah, we played a great game defensively, and we hit them hard, and we kept getting after it.
Last Friday, he finished with 142 yards and a touchdown. Burris also leads his team in rushing with 100 yards per game. But underneath the great play you may see on the field, Logan points out how well the leaders of his team guide him and others throughout the season.
No, I feel no pressure. The upperclassmen are really great guys, and I feel like I've always followed in their footsteps, and they taught me everything.
Logan's ability to listen and adapt on the field is one that head coach Josh Irvin doesn't take for granted.
For sure, yeah. Logan's done a great job running the ball, playing receiver at times, and it's all possible due to how the offensive line's blocking. But he's doing a great job, and we're excited to see him keep it going.
Let's wish Logan Burris, head coach Josh Irvin, and the Grenada Indians good luck this week as they take on the Joaquin Bulldogs. Ray Robinson, KVU TV 25 News Now, Sports.
All right, again, props up there to Logan Burris for being this week's Athlete of the Week. But now we head up north here for the Shiner Comanches, and they're looking to get back to the state championship here next Wednesday night if they can take care of business here versus the Bremen Tigers here tomorrow night. And last week, starting quarterback Carson Schutte had a big game on offense, scoring a rushing touchdown there versus the Junction Eagles. And then he got 2 big interceptions as well to help the Comanches get the win. And Comanches, they need to rely on their power running game, I think, in this game to get a big-time win, and they got to control the time of possession as well if Shiner wants to get back to the state championship. So I just gave you a little bit of a preview of the game. Now I asked everyone there at home for our viewer poll today, do you think Shiner will advance the state championship game next Wednesday night, yes or no? Majority of you are saying yes, that Shiner will get the job done tomorrow night. We'll see. Again, Shiner, again, the Bremen Tigers are a challenge for sore. Now staying with Shiner, the Shiner Gazette revealed the All Shiner Volleyball District Awards here. Here are some of the awards that went out to. Again, senior Morgan Linehan won the Co-Defensive Player of the Year. Paisley Wallace won the Co-Newcomer of the Year there for the Comanches. Then some other awards there in Chesney Marchette and junior Kaylin Ramirez were named to the first team there for the volleyball players. And then senior Jemiah Wright, Kaylee Shivik, and then Harley Shivik were named to the second team All-District there, all for those awards. And there you can see they're popped up there, like I mentioned, Co-Defensive Player of the Year there, Morgan Linehan. Then I mentioned their Newcomer of the Year, Paisley Wallace. And first team there again, Chesney Maychek, and then Kaylin Ramirez. And then real quick as well, before I send it back over to you, Don, how about Bill Belichick? Is going to finalize the deal now to be the new head coach there for the Tar Heels. That is coming up here. Don, what are your thoughts about that there? Bill Belichick now going to the college ranks here instead of the NFL ranks.
I would like to have stock in blue hoodies because they'll be selling a lot of those there for Tar Heel fans there in Chapel Hill. All right, thank you so much, Mac, and we're back in a moment. A Rhode Island teen's lawn was transformed into something spectacular. Finally tonight in Rhode Island, 16-year-old Jeffrey Hill is making sure his Christmas display is just right. What started out a few years ago as only a few decorations has turned into an all-out passion project. His friend and former classmate Lily Galoob passed away unexpectedly, so he channeled his grief into this display, calling it Lights for Lily. Wow. The purpose of the display is to raise money for the Lily Galoob Scholarship Fund. Awesome. Last year, $1,300 were raised. Well done, sir. Yeah. Well done. That Absolutely. Is a fantastic display in Rhode Island where the temperatures actually get to be where you would expect them to be for Christmas, and for a few hours in Victoria they were overnight.
I congratulate the gentleman for decorating. My concern is where are you going to put all that stuff for the rest of the year?
Big garage.
Big
garage or storage space.
Well, folks, tonight we're looking at temperatures dropping down to 32 again, so will be a very cold morning if you get out early and do jogging or take the doggies out to do what they do. But once the sun comes up, it's going to warm up nicely up to about 72. We're actually going to get into the upper 70s over the weekend, but it's not going to be sunny. It's going to be cloudy and damp and kind of drizzly. That's because the Gulf air is rolling back in, and we'll wait for Monday when the next front may actually bring us some more substantial rainfall.
All right. Well, there's, yes, cold and rain.
Yeah,
it's the holidays.
Yes. All right, thank you, Mac, and thanks for joining us. We will have more on the plane crash this afternoon in Victoria on our website, crossroadstoday.com, and we hope you'll join us tonight for 25 News Now at 10.